Hi there, and welcome to Wabi Sabi, a channel where we help parents in families where there has been a sleep struggle at night. Welcome here. This video is for you, particularly if you've asked the question, when is my child going to fall asleep by themselves? A very, very common question I've had myself as well. My children are now 10 and 12. They do fall asleep by themselves at this point, but it wasn't long ago when they didn't actually. So I can very much relate to this question. And if you don't know me, by the way, I'm Daniel. I'm a pediatrician and sleep physician and author of several books on sleep and sleep coach as well. That's what I'm doing nowadays, sleep coaching, really. So, yeah, with that said, here is our question for today. Will my child ever fall asleep by themselves? And a common question because we can often get the sense that a child should fall asleep by themselves by a certain age. There are many things written on the World Wide Web about this, and we can often get the sense that if they're not falling asleep, then we have done something wrong, or we should do more things. We should try this and that leads us to a tricky path. But on the other hand, it's very understandable why we look for things to do in the situation, because it can be frustrating when you've had a long day, you're tired, and your child wants your attention still. They want you to be near them at the end of the day when you just want to have a little bit of time for yourself. So naturally, we can wonder, like, when are they just going to fall asleep by themselves so I can have just a little bandwidth for myself, maybe spend some time with my partner, something like that, right? So the question is, will my child ever fall asleep by themselves? The answer to this question, of course, is yes. And this is not going to be new to you, but I think we should still mention it, that there is no teenager who wants their parent to be next to them as they fall asleep. Like, you may be like, oh, I know there's one person. Well, there's always, to every rule, there's this one, exception, right? But generally speaking, no teenager wants that, which just shows us that yes, every child will grow out of this, quote unquote. But of course, the follow up to that becomes something like, but my child is only 5 or 6 or something like that, right? It's a long way till your child is a teenager, so it can feel like, okay, I know it will happen at some point, but when will it happen? And the thing is that, like so many other things in life, we cannot predict exactly when it will happen. It depends on a child's temperament, their personality, if you will. If we have a child that genetically is easygoing, if you will, they will fall asleep by themselves sooner than if we have a child that's more sensitive, the one that tends to worry a little bit. So we have that that factor that we cannot do anything about, that predict this to a great extent. But I think what really, really matters is what we almost never hear anything about, which is what we're going to talk about next. And so the next topic here is this one. We want to understand, why do children want to fall asleep next to their parents? What is the reason for that? And if we think about it, we all know, we all intuitively know it, because they want to feel safe. They feel safe near their parents. Children are inherently more fragile, isn't the really word, but they're more, their survival is dependent on their parents. They need our parents for safety, for providing support, for food, for shelter, etc., etc. So they're vulnerable is the word I'm looking for. Children are more vulnerable than we are as adults, and it's easy to see how the night, when it's dark outside, you don't really see what's going on. You hear things and you can imagine, that that's something dangerous. That's a time where you would want a parent next to you. You would want a source of safety near you. So we understand that this is the reason. The reason children want their parents near them as they're falling asleep is because then they feel safe. Now, with this in mind, what will happen if we follow the conventional advice in terms of what we should do? That could be like, oh, you should, slowly remove yourself from the child. One night you're in bed with them, next night you're sitting on a chair next to them, then you're sitting next to the door, then you're outside the door, then you close the door, et cetera, et cetera. What happens if we do something like that? Well, children they even if they don't fully cognitively understand our intent and what we're doing, they can sort of smell it. They intuitively understand what we're doing. They see that we're trying to remove ourselves from them. And that signals that we want them to be alone. We want them to sleep by themselves. It signals that we don't want to be there. And how will that make our children feel? Of course, the children will think like, "Oh no, my parent doesn't even want to be there." They're thinking I should by myself like that. I should fall asleep. There's something wrong with me, and my parent, is doesn't want to be here. They will feel less safe, and they will want you even more to be there as they are transitioning into sleep. So this is why like these efforts, like putting pressure on our children to fall asleep, does not lead where we want that to lead. So, on the other hand, we can ask ourselves this question: what will happen if, even though it's not our preference, we signal that it's okay? Even if we want our children to fall asleep by themselves, so we have a little bit of bandwidth, a little bit of time for ourselves. We want that. But what if we signal to our children that what's happening now is fine? We're okay being near them. We're okay being in their room or in their bed or wherever we are, right? Then our children will feel safe. They will feel like, okay, my parent is here. My parent loves me. My parent is going to protect me. And then they sooner rather than later find that, like, the courage, if you will, to say, I think I'm fine. I think I don't need you tonight, because they feel safe. They know that if if they want us back, we'll be back, once they feel that, they feel safer, even at bedtime, and soon enough they fall asleep by themselves. So I think the key here is really to understand this behavior from the child and what leads to them finding peace of mind to fall asleep by themselves sooner. Now, what can be tricky here, though, is that if we believe this train of thinking, and we say that, okay, there's nothing wrong with me staying near my child. By the way, the whole idea that if you stay near your child, they will never learn to sleep by themselves. We can maybe talk about that in another episode, but I don't believe that is true. I don't think you can uh, make a child feel safe by leaving them, and on the other hand, I don't think you can ever do something quote unquote wrong so that they'll never sleep by themselves. So I don't believe that line of thinking. But with that said, if we think that, okay, it's totally fine that I stay near my child at night, and I see that this will be really helpful, but I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just going to be like fidgety, nervous, and what am I supposed to be doing there? This does not sound very, very appealing to us as parents. Well, what I think really helps is to think about that and think about what can we do that makes it easier for us as parents to be near our children, to hang out near our children at night. And the thing is that we don't necessarily need to be like 100% like focused on our children. We don't need to engage with them. We don't need to talk with them or anything like that. They just need our presence there to feel safe. So if we can't find something that we can do at that moment that we actually enjoy, that we like, look forward to some extent, that really helps, because then we're no longer waiting. We're no longer just kind of waiting for that moment when they fall asleep so we finally get some peace of mind. We're actually doing something we like. We may actually find ourselves looking forward to that. Maybe you're kind of near your child, and maybe your partner, other people in the family are doing their things. Maybe this can be a little bit of me time, even though you happen to be next to your child. This can be your me time. Personally, for me, what helped me was playing chess. Actually, I played. I haven't played chess in a long time, and maybe this has to do with it. I don't know, but I used to play these chess games on my phone, and that's I find it fun. But reading a book, watching something online, whatever it is that we can actually look forward to, makes this so much easier. Just like milk, like when you're waiting for milk to boil, it takes forever. As soon as you step away for a second, it just boils over. So our subjective experience there really, really matters. All right, I'll conclude here. I hope this is valuable for you. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section, and then we can answer in the comment section or answer in a video as well. That was it for today. Look forward to having you back real soon. Bye now.